Hi everyone, welcome to Shruti's Pharma World. Today we are going to discuss about conduction. Conduction is a heat transfer mechanism. Heat is a form of energy. As we know, heat is a form of energy. According to the principles of thermodynamics, whenever a physical or chemical transformation occurs, heat flows into or leaves the system. Now we are going to discuss conduction in detail. As we know, heat flows from a region of high temperature to a region of low temperature. When heat flow in a body is achieved by the transfer of momentum of individual atoms or molecule without mixing, such a process is known as conduction. This picture clearly explains the mechanism conduction. This region is very hot as compared to this region. Heat transfer from this region to this region, and the heat flow is achieved by the transfer of momentum or transfer of energy from this region to this region. The molecules or atoms that is present in this region, that molecules transfer its energy to the neighboring molecule. Like this heat transfer will be occur. So this mechanism is known as conduction. Example, flow of heat through a metal shell of boiler, that is takes place by this mechanism conduction. Conduction is limited to solids and fluids whose movement is restricted. As I already said, heat flows from a region of high temperature to a region of low temperature. That means there is a temperature gradient. A temperature gradient is exists there. Because of that, heat transfer occurs. The basic law of heat transfer by conduction can be written in the form of rate equation. This is our rate equation. Rate is equal to driving force divided by resistance. Here the driving force is the temperature drop across the solid surface. Greater the temperature drop, then greater will be the rate of heat flow. The flow of heat is also depend on the conductivity of the material through which heat is flowing. Conduction of heat is faster through an iron rod as compared to wooden material, and this factor represents the term resistance. The resistance can be quantitatively expressed by Fourier's law. Resistance equal to thickness of the surface divided by mean proportionality constant into area of the surface. Thickness of the surface, here we can take it as length of path of flow. That means L. So this is a conducting metal through the heat is flowing. Fourier's law is applied to this metal. Then we can express resistance in quantitatively using this Fourier's law. Let's see what is this Fourier's law. Fourier's law states that the rate of heat flow through a uniform material is proportional to the area and the temperature drop and inversely proportional to the length of path of flow. Here you can see a conducting material. This is a metal, iron rod or anything else. Through this heat is flowing. So according to Fourier's law, rate of flow of heat through a uniform material is directly proportional to the area and the temperature drop, and the rate of heat flow is inversely proportional to the length of path of flow. This is the statement of Fourier's law. You should study this. Again I repeat, Fourier's law states that the rate of heat flow through a uniform material is proportional to the area and the temperature drop, and is inversely proportional to the length of path of flow. We can express this Fourier's law mathematically. Rate of heat flow is directly proportional to the area, temperature difference, and inversely proportional to the thickness. Thickness is considered as length of path of flow. Okay, then Q is the rate of heat flow. So Q is proportional to area, temperature drop, and inversely proportional to the length of path of flow or thickness. We can remove this proportionality constant, then we get equation like this. Q equal to Km A delta T divided by L. Here Q is the rate of heat flow, Km is the proportionality constant, A is the area, delta T is the temperature difference, L is the thickness or length of path of flow. Now let's see the derivation of Fourier's law. Fourier's law can be applied to a metal wall through which heat is conducting. So this is our metal wall, and this metal wall is having area A meter square, and it is having thickness L meter, and this is the length of path of flow. The metal wall is having a face HH, and this region is maintained at a uniform and definite temperature, and here the temperature is higher as compared to this region, and the wall CC that is maintained at a uniform, definite, and lower temperature. Okay, the face of the wall HH is maintained at a uniform and definite temperature. Here, the temperature is higher as compared to the other wall. So the next face of the wall is CC, and in this region the temperature is lower as compared to this region. This region is also having uniform definite temperature, but as compared to this region, here the temperature is lower. That is represented by the letter T2. Here the heat flow will be right angle to the plane A, and this heat flow is assumed to be in a steady state. Listen, here heat flow is considered as steady state. Let's take a thin section of thickness DL at an intermediate point in the wall. DL is taken, and this section DL, which is parallel to the plane A. The Fourier's law is applied to this thin section DL. Then we get equation dq divided by d theta equal to minus ka dt divided by dl. This is our first equation. Here, Q is the heat transferred. Okay, in this equation, the letter Q that represent heat transferred, theta is the time, K is the proportionality constant, A is the area, and dt by dl that represent our temperature drop or temperature gradient. As I already said, the heat flow is considered as a steady state. As I already said, the heat flow is a steady state. Then we can write this dq by d theta as a constant. Okay, then we can write dq by d theta as constant. So we can designate this term as a q. Then the equation changes to q equal to minus ka dt by dl. This is our second equation. So this is our previous slide. Here dq by d theta equal to minus ka by dt by dl. This equation we get. And as I already said, the rate of heat flow through this material is steady state. So in a steady state, the rate of heat flow will be constant. So dq by d theta, this term will be constant. So we can write this term as Q, the letter Q. So dq by d theta equal to constant. So we can write this dq by d theta as Q. Q is a constant term. So the equation changes like this. Q equal to minus Ka dt by dl. So this is a changed equation. Q equal to minus Ka dt by dl. In place of dq by d theta, we replace this term and equation. Substitute the term Q in the previous equation. Then we get equation like this. Q equal to minus Ka dt divided by dl. This is our second equation. Here Q is the rate of heat transfer. No, we don't know the temperature difference in the internal section, but we know the temperature at the plane HH and the plane CC. The area may vary with the length of path of flow, but is independent of temperature. Q equal to minus Ka dt divided by dl. This is our second equation. Now I'm going to separate the variables and then rearrange the equation. I just separate the variables Q dl divided by A and then minus K dt. Okay, Q into dl divided by A equal to minus K dt. First separate the variables and then rearrange the equation. So I get the equation like this. Then I'm going to integrate this equation within the limit L is equal to 0 when T is equal to T1, L is equal to L when T is equal to T2. Okay, within this limit, I'm going to integrate this equation Q dl divided by A equal to minus K dt. So this equation is integrating within this limit. Here Q is missing. Okay, Q is here. Integral 0 to L Q dl divided by A, that is equal to minus K integral T1 T2 dt. Okay, on integrating this equation, we get QL divided by A equal to minus Km T2 minus T1. Okay, here Km is a proportionality constant. Then I am going to rearrange this equation. The minus sign is removed from this term. Then I get the equation QL divided by A equal to Km into T1 minus T2. T1 minus T2. So we can write this term as delta T, because delta T is the temperature drop or temperature gradient. So T1 minus T2 can be written as delta T. So the equation QL divided by A equal to Km delta T. So we can rearrange this equation and we get equation like this. Okay, Q equal to Kma delta T divided by L. Again, I am going to rearrange this equation. Listen, Q equal to delta T divided by L divided by Kma. Both the equation are same. Am I right? Delta T divided by L divided by Kma. Okay, both the equation are same. Here you can see the rearranged equation. Q equal to delta T divided by L divided by Kma. Delta T is the driving force and L divided by Kma is the resistance. That already we know. L divided by Kma is the resistance. This equation. So from this equation we can conclude that Fourier's law can be used to define the resistance in quantitative term. So this is the derivation regarding Fourier's law. In this presentation, we have studied conduction. Conduction is a heat transfer mechanism. The definition of conduction, conduction law means Fourier's law, and the derivation of Fourier's law. All these things we have discussed in this presentation. If you have any doubt, you can contact me. If you like this kind of videos, please do subscribe my channel and comment below if you like this. Thank you.